Show. Heard on Big Hits, Big Mama Radio. And now, our feature presentation.
What you are about to hear may be offensive to some portions of our listening audience. If you are easily offended by references to normal human bodily, social, and cultural functions, please exercise your right to control yourself and stop listening now. That is, tune out, turn off, on, or up if you're into this sort of thing. And now, for our feature.
Yeah.
The controls are simple to operate. The most important being the channel selector. The radio should be equipped
with your favorite radio station, Big Mama Radio. You are right now live with the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Yeah. All right. Hold up real quick. We just got to get into some things here real quick because we right now, as we speak, are broadcasting live from the big ass bus that is located in North Fort Myers. Now, just for the record, we are in my corner. This is my hood. We are legitimately rocking in my neighborhood right now.
That's right.
At the Antique Mall. Now, I want to say recently my wife has gone to this Antique Mall.
Oh, yeah?
And she came out raving about it, how she wanted to go, and it wasn't what she thought it was. Because I think it used to be a thrift store, correct? Like just fully thrift, or has it always been an antique
like
mall?
Furniture and stuff like that?
It was actually, a Publix at first, and then it was adjacent to the Hope Hospice.
Yeah, hospice, yeah.
Their main offices, and it's been, but it was not a thrift store.
It was never.
Yeah, well, on the end of this complex, there was a Hope Chest.
All right.
Oh, that's
but there's so many different conjoined buildings. It's hard to tell what was what, but this particular thing, this is just an amalgam of all of these different antiques and different objects that have come from several different places.
People who passed away and stuff like that.
Is this your facility?
No, he's our ghost hunter.
You're a ghost hunter too. He's your partner in this.
Yeah, he's my partner in this.
All right, so joining us, the Animal Podcast, as we are getting ready to go into the Antique Mall. And now have you done an investigation here before?
Innumerable investigations.
A lot.
We've actually used this as a proving ground for some equipment, things like that.
All right.
Josh and I have been
It's
hunting
kind of
ghosts
like
for
science. Yeah, we just use this place for science.
All right.
Yeah.
Like your baseline of ghost activity?
Absolutely. Yeah, because we've been doing this together for 18 years. Josh was like fresh out of diapers when we started investigating. But we've been doing this forever. We've been all around the country, different places around the world. Lots of TV shows, lots of books. I'm a best-selling author about all this stuff. It's a lot of fun.
You write books about this?
Yes.
A lot of stories.
All right. What's your name, my friend? What's your name?
I'm Lee Ehrlich. I'm actually known as the world authority on underwater paranormal phenomena. Yeah. I'm the pioneer of different types of hydrophones, different types of electronic voice.
Underwater.
Yes.
Underwater paranormal.
Yes. We would seed shipwrecks with parabolic sonars that my company invented to get voice out of air pockets where people were swimming when the ship was upside down and they took their last breaths. Those air pockets are full of voice.
Yeah.
Now I've got to ask some questions, all right? Because you say now that there could be entities in the water, and when I think about entities in the water, and if you're just tuning in, we are getting ready to go do a live ghost hunt on the stream. Make sure you go check it out. So I'm an empath. Something I do is I empath. I empath energy, not ghost. All right. So right. I can only feel good and positive energy. I don't feel who they are or what they are.
Right.
I'm not a psychic. I'm an empath.
Yeah.
I can feel their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel. That's what I feel. And but I have a lot of friends, and I've got a psychic who's a very, very powerful psychic who I believe 100% in. Him and I have had incidences where I know he's real.
Right.
Now, one of the things that I've learned from him is that when you're out on salt water, when you're on the water, negative energies can't get to you. The salt makes it harder for them. That's why I'm asking the questions about paranormal in the water.
Right. Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that because that's true. And there are several sciences working with one another and against one another. For example, we went on these ships to retrieve voice, but then again, the voice is not necessarily spirit voice. It's voice that's trapped through a number of different sequences. Perhaps there's the porosity of a substance where it's quite porous, and the voice is actually held in there like a slow echo, that type of thing. So what we did, this is fascinating. We went on the Spiegel Grove out here in the Keys, where 3-4 guys died recreationally. But at any rate. So we went down there, and we're on this ship, and it's quite deep, and we're down there about 130 feet at the sand. And I'm looking at... Both of you? This is a separate time. This is a separate time. And I was looking at it, and I realized, my scientific brain is going, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. We picked up some voice on this ship a few weeks ago via a winged drone that we kept on station. But anyhow, the voice is here, and I'm looking at it, and I thought, wait a minute. We've got all these different types of iron, like from the shipyards. When they build a ship, they don't get the iron from the same place. So all of these iron plates that these ships are made of are from different foundries.
Right.
And the nobility of each one is different. So that, in other words, like at home where you have copper and zinc touching, they'll corrode each other. So we've got this electrical, in salt water, we've got metal plates with an action potential. That means that this 200-foot ship is a battery. It's a giant wet cell battery. And how did I test it? I bit the ship. And when the connection hit my fillings in my teeth, it almost knocked me out.
Really?
Yeah. So there is a very, very, very micro amperage circuit running through these ships. Negligible voltage, milliamperage. And what happens is that it will enable voice to manifest if you give it a little nudge.
Do you believe in the different dimensions in the world?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think ghosts live amongst us in the same dimension or in a different dimension? So you know, I'm one that believes that you are with me, man. We are on the same page. I'm asking you questions that I want to know.
Oh, it's great. No, it's great. That's why we're here, right?
Right.
So, no, it is... Here's the thing. I'll do these conferences all around the country, and people say to me, well, you're an expert. And I said, wait. I'm an expert at not knowing what I'm talking about. Okay? That's what I'm an expert at, because nobody knows what they're really talking about. And the problem is that all this stuff that we find, it sucker punches you. You know, you're here, it sucker punches you, and then it goes away. And you're sitting like, what the hell just happened? There's no way to quantify it. There's no way to measure it. There's no way to tell where it came from. That's why I assume it's in a different dimension, because if it was on a parallel dimension, we'd see it. I think.
What got you into this? What was the thing that happened to you that took you into wanting to investigation the paranormal?
Well, I'll tell you, and this isn't a plug. I've got a best-selling book called, and when
sounds
I wrote,
like a plug.
It's a plug, and
It's a good book, by the way.
It's called Master of the
Very
Abyss.
good book.
All right.
And it's an Amazon bestseller. It's called Master of the Abyss. And what happened was that when I was a little kid, these odd, crazy things would happen to me. You know, things that the likes of which you only see on monster movies, and these different things that were just unexplainably crazy, like the thing in the basement that was actually down in the basement. You know, things that most people don't really encounter. That with a combination of Scooby-Doo. Because I'm from the Scooby-Doo generation. I grew up with Scooby every weekend. Everybody wanted to be. Everybody who didn't want to be
Pizza?
riding in that mystery machine. I bought and built a mystery machine.
Yep.
That's how we became famous. Josh and I traveling around the country in a mystery machine, because
We've gotten stopped all the time.
we got
It is-
stopped everywhere. You can't go to a gas station and get out.
Did you have a dog with you?
No, we had a big.
You travel around the country in a Scooby-Doo machine without a dog?
on the dash.
On the dash, yeah.
On the dash.
Hanging.
So effectively, what started curiosity, want to know more, intrigue, suspense, the romance of the hunt, all these
Yeah.
things. Oh, hell yeah. It's fun.
Do you listen to the guy that's on late night? I feel like you've been on his show probably. He's on late night, overnight on AM radio, and so on God, George Norrie. Is it Norrie?
God, we've got so many. It's all a blur.
I'll have to figure it out. I have
all
to
a
figure it
blur,
out. But
isn't
do
it?
you? So tonight, what do we got going on? First off, Josh, you brought something weird into the bus.
Yeah.
Uninvited. Just so I
Yeah.
want to go on the record and let that be known. Uninvited.
Oh, there's a baby for you to see. Your camera's right there. Give
Got
her
a badass
close-up.
owner that made its face all messed up. Some little kid like in Toy Story.
Yeah.
And she comes with a cup. She won't leave the
Her
cup.
name is Elizabeth.
We get a lot of dolls through here
Yeah.
at the Antique Mall.
There was a crazy one recently where some guy dropped off. It was
That guy he was half in the bag. And, the problem
I didn't drop
is-
anything off here, bro.
It looked like you. Yeah, it looked like you.
I take offense to that. It was me, bro. I wasn't half in the bag. I was fully in the bag.
In the bag. Yeah. No, we saw people, you get some, a couple of people that are a little bit, like I said, they're a little bit in the bag. And the problem is there's no verifiable history. This guy, he rode his bicycle from Buckingham. I mean, might as well pack sandwiches on that trip, right? It's a
Right.
long trip. He rode his
It's a long
bicycle down 80, what the hell is it, SR 82. In the rush hour, he drove in his bicycle.
To
to
bring
dro-
you the doll?
bring one very much like it. It was and he concocted this story about it being haunted, and these people couldn't live a minute without it in their house anymore. So he took this thing, and he pretty much stole it, and he drove it down here on his bike, and he sold it for $10.
$10 ride.
Along with
Now, did you investigate this doll?
Well, it took me about 10. The backstory was enough investigation for me.
All right.
He effectively picked this. He probably found this doll laying somewhere, and he brought it in. He concocted a story during the 3-hour bike ride.
All right.
But the thing is, for every for every concocted weird as hell story, of which there are many, occasionally one falls through the cracks that's real. Occasionally, with attachments, and you and I have had this happen
Yep.
many times. Josh and I have had instances where we've bought items at garage sales that were attached.
Yeah, things happen like crazy.
Yeah, I could tell you stories. Now, is that
Did you know they were attached when you bought them, or you're like, oh, this is old, let's test it?
they actually? I knew and should have known better. I should have known better. You could kind of.
You get a feeling, that vibe that you
Yeah.
get, and you're
Like
like,
that
I
car.
need to take it home.
That car you got.
Yeah.
Remember
That
that car
car.
that started a whole bunch of crap at your house?
It was sort of like
We investigated that too.
we investigated. It was amazing.
So,
Crazy.
so just so you guys know, actually, when I saw Lee, I was like, I know you.
Yeah.
And Lee actually investigated my aunt's house in Naples in Ponciana. And
This feels really set up for me, Lee. Just so
I
you know.
am.
It's real.
I-
real.
It's
She knows
totally
you.
real.
She knows me. We
Right,
we go
okay.
back.
Yes.
We go back like 20 years.
About 20 years. I haven't
do.
seen him since then. So this is just how interesting this is, because when we investigated my aunt's house, there was so much activity and so many things that we literally got recordings of, we got video of, we got
It was on fire. That place
that house was nuts.
I've been doing it a long time. Okay. A long time.
Am I that house you talk about?
Yes.
Oh, yay.
So, hold on. I know you're getting ready to tell a story, but I
No,
want
no, I'm
to.
always
So
telling
you got a
stories.
guy. You got a guy. You're right. Like, all right. So I've been going. Let's say this is me, my house, right? And for the past year, I feel like something crazy's been happening in this house, right?
Yeah.
So I call you guys. I'm like, Lee,
Yeah.
I need you to come here.
Yeah.
There's something crazy going on in my house.
All right.
Now, Lee, you get there, and you don't find anything.
Yes.
All right. You say you don't find a damn thing. Do you tell me you don't find anything, or or is there another answer you can give me to where I'm not like, I know there's something here? Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Well, yes.
get that
You get what I'm
Well,
saying? Like,
well, for
like,
one,
because it has
oh,
to be
yeah.
rough when you go into someone's house when they assume
Yeah.
when they're telling you there's something there, and you're like,
Well,
Christ,
here's the
there's nothing
thing.
here, bro.
Like,
There's
I've
nothing
seen
here.
Here's the thing. We
I just
do.
used every tool I got. There's nothing here.
Yeah, well, the first
Yeah.
thing we do is we have to determine whether or not it's a legit hunt.
Yeah.
We don't just come. First of all, we're not looking for our first ghost.
Right.
I mean, how many of uncountable amounts, hundreds and hundreds of ghosts later. I've seen all them. So, I don't believe everything I hear. So what we do is we have a psychosocial eval that we give before anything else. That is so important, because ultimately, and don't tell me if this isn't true, Josh, most, of course not you, But most people,
And we met some crazy.
such crazy people. Some of these people, for whatever reason, there's drugs involved.
Yeah.
Now we
We've
don't
been
tell
to
you
a
at
few.
first, and we ask them. We ask them, because they see things. They're fornicating. They're, like they're crawling with ants. They're doing all these things, and I can see they're tweaking.
Yeah.
We
And
had
I'm
one-
like, I gotta know. Are you, are you using anything because you give that appearance? Oh no. Well, it's not. Oh no.
Yeah.
It's yes. Okay. Now I'm done wasting my time coming out on those investigations where people lie
Yeah.
to me before they
All
come
right.
out. So I got a secret. So I clean the queue out. I make sure that all of the riffraff is gone. Then when we come to a person's house, we give an objective observation of that house at that time, because any investigator knows that paranormal energy does not come out on cue.
Yeah.
You cannot walk in and rustle it up. It doesn't work like that.
No.
It works on its itinerary, not yours. They speak to you when they want to speak. They touch you when they want to touch you. You don't walk in like you see on TV and say, appear before me. I am the great boo boo boo. Appear before me. It's not going to happen. Okay, so you have to have the right vibe. You got to work with the energy in the room.
Yeah.
You got to know that it's going to be a very small, subtle hint from a place where there isn't a lot of energy available, and that hint is you need to. That's why it's a learning game, right? You need to know that sound you heard was all this thing could do, and then you have to think, and then you can cross communicate with it, but generally with questions that bear no answers. You establish contact, just like you're driving between two cars and you wave through the window, and that's how it works. So yes, I wouldn't discount what you're telling me, because if your house is wildly haunted, but a lot of stuff will debunk. A lot of stuff will say, well, hey, then you've got the paranormal activity du jour that you find everywhere you go.
Do you go into an investigation with the thought to debunk it automatically, or no?
No, and here's my thanks for asking that question, because it's one of my favorite retorts, and that is, for instance, who would go out to dinner to a steakhouse and hope that their dinner tastes like crap? Okay? Nobody would do that. Who would go out on a first date and hope that the date goes completely to hell? Okay? Who would go out with get together with someone and hope that they can't get it up? Okay? Nobody would do that, right? Nobody would do that.
That's what she
Just
said.
like with an investigation. We don't go to investigations, me and Josh. We're riding shotgun. We're homies.
Like, I hope this sucks.
And we're riding shotgun like
Oh, gosh.
riding shotgun thousands and thousands of miles together.
Well, it's funny. We'll go to investigations where nothing will happen. They'll say, "Oh, everything's flying through the roof." The places that we do find is when we make pit stops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where we'll find stuff flying through the roof and all that crap. We found a haunted hotel in the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere, and we stay at these places.
Yeah.
We've got no itinerary. But
So you
know
have
what?
no fear.
No, and what you were
None.
saying is
Not
we
a
don't-
drop.
No. And when we I don't go into a place hoping it's not going to be haunted. Like you
We
watch
love
You
some
ever killed
shows.
anybody, Lee?
Pardon?
You ever killed anybody, Lee?
Not on purpose.
All right, just asking.
I've had a lot of people die in my hands. For real.
He's like, I'm not scared. I sleep in a penitentiary.
Yeah, I'm not scared.
Oh,
But,
no,
but
we'll-
seriously,
we'll
we
do
don't go in.
crazy stuff.
Will you sleep in a haunted hotel on the haunted floor?
We always do.
Yeah, we always do.
We got our favorite.
Casadega, that place.
Casadega's great. The Casa.
Oh, sorry.
my
The
God,
ghosts are going.
But we don't go into a place. See, as far as debunking, I don't go in. I go in neutral.
Yeah.
I don't go in thinking, this is a bunch of crap, and we're going to debunk it. That takes the fun out of it. Because remember, too, we're having fun. I mean, everybody gets so uptight about it, It's guys and girls running around in the dark with flashlights. Okay? That's not bad. Okay? You can make the most out of that if you want. That kind of thing.
Right.
So, yeah, we're having a good time, and everybody's having a laugh. I'm not opposed to having a cocktail in my hand.
Oh,
The
we've
hell
had
do
that
I care?
happen.
Oh,
Heck
many
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
And it's not a hunt till you got a cocktail in your hand.
Yeah.
So
Some people.
So
are
we
like,
did this wrong. Got it.
So you gotta. The
Won't
truth
do that again next year.
need
Nope.
booze.
We'll have to bring the booze next time.
Yeah, well, yeah, but we do. By the time it's 3 in the morning, the booze is already well on board.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't like going into a place and barking out things and
Yeah.
debunking it. Yes, I understand that most of this is BS. And yes, I understand that there's other ways to interpret this other than a ghost. But 1 out of 10, 1 out of 100, like at your aunt's, my God, we're sitting there at our aunt's house. Must have been 8 of us.
Yep.
This is decades ago when I was sound manager for Lee County Ghost Hunters,
Yeah.
and we went in there and we're sitting on the couch with these big things of Pringles and Funyuns and all this crap, and we're waiting for Grandpa to come home or your uncle, and we're sitting there. I've never seen this before.
He's a ghost, by the way.
Yeah, he's a ghost.
She's not alive.
Yeah,
All right.
Grandma's alive. She's in the other room knitting or whatever. We're sitting there. The door handle starts shaking. I'm closest to it on this sectional sofa. I look over there. The door shakes. It opens.
Never fails.
Grandpa goes walking his way across the cardboard floor.
Yup.
Everyone's got a mouthful of Funyuns. Like
Did that just happen?
You see him?
No, you see his trail. You can
Yeah.
see his trail. He goes across the room. He reaches through the blinds, twists the door, opens up the door to the patio, and goes walking out.
Yeah.
And I'm
He
like,
used to go feed his birds back there.
feed his birds. It was on. And then then somebody's making a sandwich in the kitchen. Remember?
Yep.
And we're all in the back room with headphones on. We got sound. We've got these little data loggers. Sound, temperature, all these things, all on a graph, all lined up on a computer. And all of a sudden, somebody's in the kitchen making sound. Temp drops 30 degrees. All this crap. It's going on. I'm expecting to see Grandma making a sandwich, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come around the corner, nothing. Typical. A tease, like a
Wow.
big ass tease.
We used
So-
to see a dark shadow in the kitchen all the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the time.
It was amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
we had that one incident in Lehigh where we used those baby monitors. Remember, we heard
yeah,
those. That
yeah.
was crazy. When we heard growls and coming out of the baby monitors and all that, and things were.
Baby monitors are creepy.
Yeah,
Baby monitors pick up. Yeah, they pick up that creepy. My hair stands up with those. What hair I have
we
left.
use those
it
on
stands up.
investigations a lot of times.
Oh,
because we got a lot of
I've had
creepy-
quite a few baby monitors. Yeah, they're weird.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
I like to run those little walkie-talkies on scan. You hear weird things from those too.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the
Anytime
time.
you listen to open air,
Yep.
you're
White
listening.
noise.
You're gonna hear something. We also what precipitated the underwater, and you guys will find this fascinating because it is fascinating.
Then I want to go back to the sexual sofa. Never
Okay.
heard of that term, so I want to talk
Yeah,
more
we'll go.
about that.
We'll go back to that.
Excuse me, what?
Sexual sofa.
Sexual sofa.
Is that what
yeah.
you said?
Sectional.
Oh, sectional. Oh, I thought you said sexual.
said sexual.
You heard that too, right? I was like, what is a sexual sofa? I need one of those right away.
If this is
God.
what
I'm
happens,
like, is that
I
for
knew I
sale?
needed it. Right. I'm going back and watching
Yeah,
this, and I'm
is a
going to play that
family-
clip
This
back.
is a family show, everybody.
if this is what happens after hours,
Right.
Raven.
No one's shrinking, I promise.
Exactly.
All
But
right.
no, this is. Give me. We're in it.
Elizabeth does not approve.
Check this out, guys. This is, okay, this is fascinating. And this is what got me to use the hydrophone over the Spiegel Grove, the ship, right? In Estero, I'm doing a preliminary. I don't believe we were together on this one. I think it might have been with Honey from back in the years. Anyhow, we go back there, go into the house, and beautiful home on the water in Naples, that kind of thing.
I think I know which one you're talking
You know what
about.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I've been to
And
that
I
one.
said, and we sit down in the foyer, like the parlor, and we're sitting there, and I hear the news. Somebody's listening to the news report. So
Yeah,
I said,
remember
who's
that one,
who's
yeah.
watching TV? They said, that's the ghost. Okay, fine. So I go walking down the hall, and the closer I get to the bedroom where the ghost is, the voice stops sounding like TV, and it starts sounding like water running. So I'm like, okay. So then I walk in the bedroom, and there's a fish tank, and it's a few inches low on water. It's coming out the power head, and it's making a burbling, gurgling, babbling brook sound, like blippity blip blip blippity blip, like that. So it had a cadence and a meter to it. So I hear that. Go back in the hall, it's voice. Go down there, it's water. Okay, so I took a recorder, stuck it on the floor, ran a 20-minute session. We're in the other room going, hey, if anybody's in there, say hi to us. Tell us who you are, okay? So take the recorder out, plug it into my SoundForge, and it's going like bluppity 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 blop. And then it goes, I just can't stop the seizure.
Oh wow.
Then
that
it's
gave
back
me
to
a
water,
chill.
back
Right.
to the water
Yeah.
again. Blah, 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 blah. 9 cancers. Blah, 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 blah. And then it goes, she says it's hard to be them. And I'm
Wow.
like, what the?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm like, maybe this babbling brook thing's got some significance or credence, perhaps.
Yeah.
So then I started tossing these recorders in areas where fish tanks, my own fish tanks, have been modulated so that I've got just the right amount of air and just the right amount of water. And I'm picking up voice on water everywhere. And what's the heck
Wow.
is that all about? But specific questions answered. And you don't
So it's
just...
intelligent. It's talking
yeah.
back. Yeah.
And it always says what it wants to say. It never says what you want to say. Like that whole thing where you show up, you're like, tell us your name. Why are you here? It doesn't care what you're saying. All it once it knows that you can hear it, it just unloads the info. Stuff that it's wanted to talk about for all these years, and finally there's a receptive ear.
All right, so we're going in.
That's it.
All right, we're
All
going
right.
in.
Yeah, we're about to go in.
So here's the game plan.
All
We're
right.
going in. Let's take them 3 at a time. We'll be all right like that.
Yeah, we
should be
Okay.
good.
3 people at a time. It's dark. It's light. We want it that way. We want conflicting light,
Fausto
dark.
is very scared, by the way. This one right here. Look at his face.
He's not scared. He's a big guy. He can handle it. You know.
I brought some Depends if anybody needs them.
Yeah, we got extra large ones too.
Big
Yeah.
guy.
All right, so let's do that. We got
You
to
big guy, you.
We'll dial you guys in with what we're gonna do.
All right.
Or just anything unusual. Here's what happens here. Hair stands up.
Yeah.
Hair stands up. Pressure increases. You're walking down the hall. Feels like the roof's coming down on you. You're walking along. Your hair stands up. Whatever you got left of hair stands up. That kind of thing. And
losing my hair.
that's what's gonna happen. So we're on.
All right.
Thank
I
you.
love it. So just to give a quick shout out, we do have Honest Healthcare that came here. They saw the post and they are here for the investigation with us tonight. Fausto is also here. We've got Angie as well. And big shout out to First Class Delivery who brought us some pizza so we can investigate this
Heck
Full
monster.
yeah,
belly.
there's some pizza.
All right,
Who's going
Josh,
in?
You got the lead, Josh. Go
Yep.
grab the first 3 and we'll do it.
Here we go.
Now, we'll be able to watch from over there, Sean.
Yep.
We won't be able to communicate back and forth.
We can hear what they're...
All right. Can we hear each other back and forth? Can I be like, what are you seeing right now? Let's try and see what happens. All right. Who's going first?
Just don't disrupt the investigation.
I have to go later because you gotta let him out, man.
Who's going to take Elizabeth home?
Not I. Not it.
I gotta put her
All right, everyone. We are going to set up some Zooms and send people in 3 at a time. Our SJC Technology
Hey,
Technical
Josh,
Advisor.
Somebody needs to do a Zoom so we can try it.
What do you think? I like Lee.
He's got some stories. doesn't he?
Right. I want to sit down and just have a straight 2-hour conversation.
I want to see him take you in there and find the haunted doll that moves.
The only thing that got me was his one story where I empath that story, the one that gave Betty the chills. I was able to empath. That's the only thing that's empath so far.
The restream is showing what we had last week.
The what?
The restream. The text. We got to change that.
Oh,
We didn't change the title.
Yes.
I need somebody to test the Zoom.
We got to change the title. But should we stop and restart? The title's wrong.
She's editing the title.
Oh.
No, I can't edit while we're still on.
Do you want to cut it and then